Decisions don't start with data. Decisions start from here, from the gut. And yes, we use data to influence them, and data is one important component, but there are many things that go into making a decision. So let's review what are those things. And with that, we are going to close this journey of going through all these videos about uh, data and analytics for managers. Decisions essentially come from an emotional state. And this is hard to grasp because we live in this rational world in which we think we make our decisions from a rational perspective. We have a logical train of thought, and at the end, we have this coherent solution, and then we make this decision thinking about this. But actually, the trigger of this coherent train of thought usually is some emotion. We start from fear, happiness, anger, whatever it is, the emotion you have. And that emotion triggers a defense mechanism or triggers a sort of reaction, a bodily reaction. And then from there, we began to make these logical constructions, and we get data that we use to construct and support our decisions. And this is what we use to get our decisions making process started, which is important to keep in mind because many times we think that the decision-making process is a completely rational process. We start from data and then we move forward. An easy way to see this, and from ancient times, the Greeks, they knew this very well, is the rhetoric model. The Greeks had this triangle where you have pathos, ethos, and logos, which form the decision-making process. And to quickly review what this means is the ethos, you present yourself and you support why you are someone who is worth to be listened at. Then you present the logos, which is the logical part, the data, the part that we are discussing. And finally, you present the pathos, the emotions. So you have to, at the end of the day, you have to convey emotions so people take action. I would like to add another element because once that you have emotions, once that you have created this mental state in your audience, then they are ready for the call to action. They're ready to take action and do something. So I would add ethos, so you have to support, to add credibility to the words you're putting. Then you have the logos with the data that you are really to put forward to support your case. But then you have to convey an emotional message that convinces people to bring them to action. And finally, action takes place. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about is that this mechanism is supported really strongly by storytelling. And storytelling is something that has come with us from the cave to the skyscraper. Uh, everywhere, everywhere in our history is supported by history, myths, and the stories that we tell with data. So when you're trying to convey a message and you are still using this triangle, you need to support that in one story. And there are many different models of story, but storytelling is critical. And when you are trying to present something with data, when you're trying to make a case, you need to embed that in a context, and that context is one story, is a narrative that you're building.